the plan is to go back to Bonner's Ferry and put a roof over where the snow doesn't stay, so it has to have a little slope. And I have to make it as inexpensive as possible to protect this container from leaking and damaging my goods that I've had for life, or valuables, you know. So I decided to design a roof that fits on top of a shipping container with a little angle, and that just like dissipates the water, and it also really inexpensive, where I don't have to use a lot of tools or something, because the property doesn't really have like access to a lot of electricity. It's got like a few batteries, and you can't really count on charging your equipment, so you got to think about like hand tools. And so I started doing a design that only requires mainly wood and maybe hammer, nails, and not super reliable on anything else but that, and maybe a drill for like little screws. But anything structure wise has to be designed, and kind of like once you get there, put it as a Lego. I thought about putting like those metallic shingles, but it was like I needed maybe 4, and each one was like $75. So I was like, nah, no way. Uh, then I found this asphalt that you put on, and it's waterproof, and that was like $50 for like a 5-gallon. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the whole thing wood. These are 4x4s, and the idea on these ones is that I have to like make a hole in the middle, because that's what one of the trusses is gonna rest, so you can actually hold the roof. So there's a stick that's gonna go. It's like a 2x6x10, and then it's gonna fit there, so it makes that angle. But man, cutting these holes is not easy. I'm using this so I can kind of like trace where it goes, right? Like in this one, this was a failure. And the blade, because it's circular, it doesn't go all the way in, so it just barely touches as far as where it goes. It's hard to see. So I actually wanted to go down to 4 inches, because that's as thick as that stick can go. But the blade didn't allow me to go that far. I can only go up to like 2.5 inches, and just to make a mark. Then I will cut this section to make like a square with that handsaw, and it's extremely dangerous. But the plan is that a 2x4 has to fit in here, right? So I have to make the middle sections, I have to make them like very fragile, so I have to like make more lines with the saw, because I don't have the proper tools, but I have to make it happen. See, what we have here is each of the trucks that's gonna go on top of the shipping container is gonna be spaced every 4 feet. I think that's pretty normal that they spread out that much. However, I am taking a measurement exactly because I want to cut sections in between to provide stability for the whole piece. So I have to cut these pieces individually. Alright, so what you're seeing right now, it's I pre-cut these sections to provide support to these tiny towers that are going to support the whole roof, right? I have some metal brackets and stuff that are gonna provide more strength to those joints, but they just go in by nails. I don't think even screws are necessary, mostly nails. So there's metal stuff. Yeah, this is approximately one side of the shipping container. I had to say that even though each little pole is 4 feet apart, they don't automatically have the same measurements because these 4x4s are actually 3.5 by 3.5. So as a double check, I just went ahead and measured the length of this side with the post and everything, the joints together. It has to add up to 20 feet, which is the actual length of the container. So yeah, it starts from that corner, right? And it goes, they might not be exact, just like you see there's a few spaces here that they will later join with like nails or something, the joints that I have. So they will get tight. Also like, not like a super huge difference, so I think it will be okay. So yeah, you can see it's like maybe half an inch or something, a little more than 20 feet, but that's what we want, that length.
So I'm not sure what happened to that part of the video, but here I'm showing a few pictures of what I was looking at for the corners of the container. It has to be some sort of locking mechanism that can lock the roof in case of a wind or anything like that. There is not too many parts that this roof can be attached to with nails or anything, so those four corners have these holes, and I either had to order some of these parts and attach them to my wooden design roof, or I will have to come up with an idea. Here's the measurements of that. So then later I designed a little attaching mechanism with four hammers. Then I that later cut the wood handles, and I'll show in the following clip.
So this is where the project is. I have all the wood and everything. I hope that what I did is it's gonna work here. But yeah, so oh, so squirrel was running anyway. That way, so I can protect all my belongings. So yeah, here's the property. Here's the shipping container. So yeah, these are the hammers I got. I had to shave them this way. That way, they fit in these holes, right? And so the roof can lock here. So those hammers, I put them in the hole and twist it. So in essence, it secure the roof in case of a wind. It's just like holding on horizontally instead of vertically, so it's kind of safe. And then I put a screw here, so then when I put the wood on top of this, it will just stay. I did that for all the corners. That's just to secure the roof. And then I put this in between here just to get them together, and that's it so far. Okay, so we have a little problem. I guess the measurements, they were not exactly accurate for what I found online. So now these holes, they don't line up. They are a little bit yeah, they're far apart from the other one. So I'm gonna have to adjust. Luckily I have some tools here, so I will adjust these holes. We got this. It's not perfect, but this is gonna be the lower end anyway. So the roof is inclined in this direction, so it's fine. It's fine if it's that way right now. I apply liquid nails to these sections, so they kind of stay glued to the top of this. And yep, let's continue. So right here I added another 2x6x8 just to make it even, because I want to work on an even surface. That makes everything kind of like better. But yeah, I'm gonna screw those into the ones below and then I continue with the other stuff.
So the other thing I'm doing, securing not just corners with those hammers like that. You can actually see them through these little holes. They're securing that corner. But I also want to secure the sides right here, not just with the glue I put on, but also I have that goes into this hole, and then this bracket will go on top like that and screw to the side. And this one has the bracket, and then also has some screws at the bottom. So a bit overkill, but better safe than sorry. I just realized it's not straight, but hey, it's just holding. It's overkill, but it's for stability. And put the episode wood at the bottom for support or more stability for that. But yeah, one done and then 3 more to go. So it's secure on the corners, it's secure on this side, so that roof is going nowhere. This is supposed to hold the roof down in the middle. So you have those two on this side. Now the ones on the corners, you already saw those hammers are holding the corners. So corners here, and then again on this side for the sides. All right, so the base is done basically. Now that we finish, and hopefully this is dry now. So the only purpose of those sticks is so they square up with like the corners and hold the roof on the corner like that. But I have to cut them so I can put the actual poles that hold the roof on an angle going down. So ready to cut those things. Basically that's how it looks at the end. Let's see if I can, yeah, it's like a single-handed thing. Now we have those corners flush, right? And now I can use the numbers like I did when I was home. So remember, the first one was supposed to go here in that corner, right? And so on. So looks like they fit. Just have to nail them there, and yeah, I finish the rest tomorrow. So you see the numbers. Because they have different measurements for some reason. So that concludes the work for today. I need to get a little bit more brackets, but yeah, that's the high side, and you see in the middle has the holes for the trusses. We'll come down this way for the snow to slide this way, and that's it. Looks like a tiny castle. I gotta say, I'm kind of satisfied with this. It's going over pretty well, and yeah. So I left some open holes here, so I can get a screw through, and it's just right there holding.
pretty good. And then I put a strap on the other side. Want to see my neighbors? Look at that guy. Hello. Look at the baby deer. Hey baby deer. Hey baby deer. So now I got the bracket here and the brackets here that will hold this in place. So this is how it's going. Since this plywood end up kind of like in the middle, I'm gonna have to put some kind of support because that's a weak point. So I have to think about something. And yeah, so far it's looking good. Okay, so this is what's happening. I have 4 complete, and those middle sections I'm gonna add some duct tape. Yes, duct tape. I have to go cheap as possible. I could also add silicone and then the duct tape, so might do that. And then I put this waterproof asphalt cover. I think it's like $50 for a 5-gallon drum. And yeah, the last 2 pieces almost done. Time for a break. This is a long morning, but I think it's almost done. Just a few cosmetic things, and or maybe a little bit of reinforcement on those cracks. But yeah, feel pretty good. I decided just to patch those cracks with other pieces of wood, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover. It's this rubber material, and this last part, it's not necessary to cover it since the water is gonna run this way, but that'll be the last thing if I want to do something. We'll see.
I found this tarp that it's kind of like a rubbery and it's paper at the bottom, but it's waterproof. And I decided to go with that instead of the paste that I was gonna pour all over the roof, and this worked out better. At the end, I put some of the leftover paint that is exterior paint, so it will be waterproof as well, and it's kind of doing the job to keeping the surface dry.
And I layer it so the top section layers on top of the one coming down, so the water will run over. Hopefully that's good enough. This project cost me about $500 with all the materials. I couldn't go any cheaper than that. Hopefully it retains the water out. And that's it. Cut. Alright, I'm not sure how functional this is, and I don't know if my logic is right, but I'm trying to cover as much as possible the holes on the sides and everything, because I want to keep the water out, but you can see there's still like some holes in there, so animals are for sure gonna get in there, like wasps and things like that. I don't know if I'm building a shelter for critters, but yeah, I try to close as many holes as possible, so in case of a side rain or anything like that, don't water get on there. But yeah, as you can see, there's still some holes. I guess I could put more wood, but I think
it's good enough. Hopefully it keeps this living. Okay, so just clean up my property, and this is my paint job. Yeah, I use paint from Home Depot, the one that's cheap. The exterior paint, each gallon for $9, and then some spray paint to make this sort of camo color. The leftover paint I put it on this roof because I didn't trust that material. I felt like it might just decompose or break over time, so why not throw a coat of paint? Exterior paint, usually waterproof, and there was this product online. It was $75, and I was like, no, I have this paint, so I think it'll be alright. That was the last thing on this project.